The Big 12 championship game, Dallas, Texas, 11 a.m., AT&T Stadium, Jerry World. He will not be there. Most likely, you got BYU versus the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Rematch of a game that was highly anticipated earlier on this year. Game day was there. And it turned out to be a disaster for the BYU Cougars. A complete disaster. Got just shredded up and down the field against this Texas Tech Red Raider football team. Okay. Now, Texas Tech, they're favored by 12.5 as of me sitting here in front of this camera. That probably, in my mind, is going to go up. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets up to even like 15.5. You're thinking 3-point swinging? Yeah, I'm thinking a 3-point swing. Okay, it could get up that high. Would not shock me by kickoff come Saturday morning. Okay, so we know Texas Tech just had their way with BYU. This is where I coined the term the boa constrictor defense. Texas Tech just get around you and they just squeeze. They squeeze the life out of the offense, and it looks miserable to be an opposing offense. That's this Texas Tech defense. That's where that term was coined. Now you flip over to BYU. Hey, they bounced back in a big way against Texas after the Texas Tech loss. Everybody kind of wrote BYU off. They said, okay, yeah, well, same story as last year. They were undefeated, get beat, and then they kind of fall down the stretch. Nope. BYU, hey, they actually got better after this Texas Tech loss. They got better, okay? So they have a chance to cause a lot of chaos. They have a chance to cause a lot of chaos in the CFP rankings. If they were to win this football game, folks, what would happen with the teams in front of them? Are they going to jump over Notre Dame? Will they jump over an Alabama? Will they jump over an Oklahoma? Or will they just secure a spot? Who knows? Let's find out. BYU, what do we know about this Cougar football team? Number one, they live and die off of the turnover. Okay, you're thinking, Ian, yes, of course, every team live and dies off of the turnover. No, not like BYU. Okay, if they win the turnover battle, they will dominate you. You know, there's a guy, I believe it is Stats-O-War on Twitter. Shout out him at Stats-O-War. He does, the play-by-play. Did we really get beat that bad graphic on Twitter? And it basically shows you, hey, your team in a bar graph, and then the team you faced is below you. If you have a big bar graph, that means you won pretty handedly on a play-by-play, down-by-down basis, okay? BYU, usually they're kind of somewhere in the middle where that bar graph isn't, there's not a lot of separation between the two teams. BYU's games, not a lot of separation. Texas Tech, yeah, they've been dominating down by down. BYU, not so much, but yet they're 11-1. It's because of turnovers, ladies and gentlemen. It is because of turnovers. Now, we have one instance where they did not win the turnover battle, where they got worked in the turnover game, and it was against Texas Tech. What happened in that game? You are correct, sir. They got whooped. Okay, they got whooped, smoked, just whatever you want to just beat into the ground. Boom, 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 boom. That was BYU when they lose the turnover battle. Now, they're doing the boom, 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 fist in hand when they win the turnover battle. They live and die by the turnover. Number two, the red zone defense has been phenomenal. The red zone defense has been legit one of the best red zone defenses in the entire country, number 6 in the nation. And we saw it against Texas Tech. Texas Tech had a couple turnovers, got into BYU territory, and they had to settle for field goals. That is going to be key for BYU in this one in the Big 12 championship game. Biggest question for BYU. How much pressure do they bring? Early and often against Texas Tech in the first game, BYU was bringing the linebackers. They were bringing them down the middle, that Texas Tech offensive line. And what do you know? After the first quarter, 0-0, nobody was scoring, nobody was moving the ball. In fact, BYU had more yards than Texas Tech early on in that football game. And then you look up and it's Texas Tech up by 20 points. So, how much pressure is BYU going to bring? I'm of the belief that they need to get after the weakness in my mind of the Texas Tech football team, which is that offensive line. So the script for BYU in this one, easy. Number 1, win the turnover margin. Number 2, the red zone defense continues to be phenomenal. And number 3, they bring pressure on defense. Get after Baron Morton. Make him make mistakes. Texas Tech. What do we know about the Texas Tech Red Raiders? Number 1, this is a top 5 defense in the country. Okay, some of you are thinking top 5, Ian. No way. No way. They play the Big 12. I don't care who they play. They could be playing School of the Blind, and I would still believe in this defense I would want them as my defense. Okay, maybe unless you're Ohio State, Oklahoma, Indiana, perhaps Oregon, even those are probably the 4 defenses that maybe you would take over this Texas Tech defense. But it's up there in the discussion. It is that good. Number 2 in points per game. Number 4 in yards per game. Number 2 in points per play. Just mauling people. They also have the best run defense in the entire country. So similarly to me reading off the Ohio State stats in the Ohio State versus Indiana preview, the Big Ten championship preview on this channel, go check that out if you don't mind. And go ahead and subscribe down below when you're at it. And follow on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well at Ian Fritts Show. This Texas Tech defense has been phenomenal. They will continue to be phenomenal. No reason not to believe that Heisman guy and Jacob Rodriguez should be invited to New York. Maybe not win the thing, but he should be invited. No doubt in my mind. He's not going to be, but he should be. Okay. And then the biggest question for Texas Tech. We know this defense is phenomenal. We know it is. They have skill position for days on offense. Okay, wide receivers just look like trees out there. Guys with long arms. They're 6'7". Okay, they're unbelievable. They're unbelievable. So my biggest question, honestly, isn't even for Texas Tech, but it kind of is. Is the Big 12 paying them to lose this football game? Are they getting paid a little extra? Hey, Texas Tech, you like all that money that you're getting? Okay, you like all that money from Cody Campbell? Hey, we're just going to give you an extra $2-3 million to lose this football game so that BYU and you can get into the Big 12 championship game. I don't know if it's happening. I'm not insinuating it's happening, but it wouldn't shock me. Big 12 wants more than one team in the playoffs, folks. They do. Okay, so the script for Texas Tech is simple. You just play like you have all year. That's simple. The defense just does what they do. So I think you can kind of tell the pick for this game. It's Texas Tech minus 12.5. I would take Texas Tech minus 20.5 right now if I could, ladies and gentlemen. If I could get really good odds on that, I would. So give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders to win the Big 12 championship game and get themselves a bye in the college football playoffs.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
45-40, 45-50.